This year's participating countries at COP24 must submit stronger national goals before 2020, otherwise it will be hard to deliver on the 2015 Paris Agreement's goals to limit planetary warming to safer levels.
This was heard at the 24th conference of the parties under the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change taking place in Poland. The summit marks the most significant meeting on climate change since world leaders signed the Paris Agreement.
Katowice, Poland, a European country relying on coal to supply just over 80% of its electricity. But it's pushing for a transition away from emissions, as are participating countries at this round of climate talks.
So generally we have a huge problem with quality of air, and the quality of air is also connected with emissions of carbon dioxide and etc. So we on Polish ground we think how to make holistic approach to these issues, how to cope with two issues, how to cope with quality of air in Poland and how to cooperate in reduction of emissions of carbon dioxide to atmosphere.
World leaders plan to keep the average global temperature rise below 1.5 degrees Celsius. It's the third time that Poland is hosting the UN climate talks, and just as in 2013, fossil fuels have taken center stage at this 24th round of negotiations, but not all countries are willing to leave coal, gas and oil in the ground.
Well, the feedback we get from our negotiating team is that the negotiations are tough. And, some countries are backtracking on their commitments, but we also are very well aware, our team is, and many other countries, that currently we are way below the kind of ambitions that were set at that time, and that the situation has got worse in the world, has got worse and not better, so the challenge is even greater.
South Africa is also among air polluters, but experts believe there is hope.
As and that many other countries have, is to how to manage the transition from coal to something else, in the case where it's now cheaper to go to something else.
Particularly with the new energy policies which start to move towards reducing the role of coal in the South African power sector, so that we would view as a positive development.
Here, bold climate policy commitments will be crucial in guiding governments to avoid the worst impact of global warming. SABC News, Katowice in Poland.